We know it's not that much profit, but it's their first deal, and they're really excited about it. And I said to them, well, that's not really all of the story. You're missing one of the biggest parts of the story. I said, that's TV profit. You know, if you've ever seen those TV shows, this is how they run the numbers. It's really true. It's really true. And so what were they missing?
Real estate.
Selling and carrying costs. Exactly. All of those overhead costs that we never talk about at the cocktail parties, right? We just talk about the, what we did and the great deal, and the bottom line is usually a lot different than people say. A lot different. Okay? So there was $29,000 in overhead that they forgot to figure in. So they were going to make minus $13,000. Minus $13,000. All right? I talk to people all over the country every week, and they talk to me about their real estate deals. And most of the people I talk to are about to get into a deal that's going to lose money. So mostly what I do is I kill people's deals for them. That's really what I do. Because most deals don't qualify, right? Most deals don't qualify. Here's how to run the numbers, okay? If the sale price were $225, the fix-up cost $24, overhead $29, profit $32. That's left with our offer price, which should have been $140. Well, she screamed. I mean, she really did scream. And she picked up her cell phone, called the guy right away, and right then and there said, you've got to get out of this contract. So, which he did. All right, here's how to run the numbers. This is what you have in front of you right now. You've got the eventual selling price, the improvement cost, the overhead costs, and the profit. These are the four critical components that go into knowing how to evaluate deals, or another fanciful way of saying that is going into how to make offers. All right? I'm giving you rules of thumb today, folks. Just rules of thumb. Number one rule of thumb. Your improvement costs are going to be $20 per square foot. And if I have a little time at the end, I'm going to teach you how to, in 5 minutes, identify the improvement cost on any house, if we have time today. It usually takes me an hour to teach that. But it's cool stuff. All right, but for right now, any house you're going to fix up, just assume it's going to be $20 per square foot. That means if it's a 2,000 square foot house, how much is the fix? $40,000. All right? So 1,000 square foot house, $20,000. Overhead costs, all of those, buying costs, selling costs, holding costs, all of those costs we were just talking about that no one ever talks about. Realtor fees, the money, the interest on the money to buy and fix these up, the points on that loan to buy and fix these up. The real estate agent's fees, property taxes, insurance, utilities. Okay? Put it all together, it usually comes out to 13% of the selling price. I know it's a little warm in here, I'm sorry about that. 13% of the selling price. So if the house sells for $200,000, what will my holding cost be? $26,000. And that's a great rule of thumb, by the way. We averaged 1,000 houses that we've done, and it's come out to 13.2%. And that's everything. Okay?
After repair value.
That's the selling price, the after improved price that the house ultimately sells for. Thank you. Profit. I would never teach this if I had more time, but I'm going to give you a general rule of thumb. You need to have 15% times the ultimate improved, fixed up selling price of the house. 15%.
Average?
Just average. Average. Okay?
Average?
So in other words, if the house sells for $200,000, how much profit do I need in this deal? $30,000. All right? I hate to give you this because in reality, I should be telling you that the profit that you get goes up or down based on the risk you are taking in these deals. Doesn't that make sense? And where is all the risk in these deals, by the way? Well, there's some market risk, like we're in a bad market right now. What if it doesn't sell? Sure. And then there's the repair risk, right on, Tom. There's the risk of fixing up that disaster I showed you on our first slide. So I've got this great formula that I teach when I teach this in an all-day class, where I show you how to take the construction cost per square foot, and we have a special formula that makes the risk go up and down, makes the profit go up and down with how crazy, hard, insane the repair is. Okay? For right now, let's just use 15% as a rule of thumb. And it's a pretty good rule of thumb. All right. You know, I mean, or you could just make it easy on yourself and say, I'm going to buy any house I ever look at for 50% of its ultimate selling price. And then you call it home, because that's all I have to teach you. It's really very, very simple when you do it that way. But, and ultimately, that's how it's going to come out. So here's what this looks like, is if we have a 200, and this is what you need to write in your margin there, a $200,000 eventual selling price, that's the price of the fixed up house. And the house is, we're going to say the house is 1,500 square feet, right? 1,500 square feet. Meaning that times $20 a square foot for the repairs, it's going to cost $30,000 to fix up. We said that the overhead cost is 13% of the ultimate selling price, so that's $26,000. And we said that the profit is going to be 15% of the ultimate selling price, and that's $30,000. We subtract all of those out, and the maximum offer that we can offer for this house is $114,000. For those of you who can't see that very bottom, I'm going to go over these numbers again. Selling price $200,000, improvement cost $30,000, overhead cost $26,000, profit $30,000. Very, very bottom line, maximum offer $114,000, which by the way is 57% of the selling price. Do you get that? I want you to get that.
What about saying that it should be 50 to 65% below market, final market value?
50 to 65% of the selling price.
Not below it.
Oh, yeah. This formula is what most people in America, even real estate professionals, do not know and do not practice, and that's why people lose money in this business. If you know this simple formula and use it every time you make an offer on an investment property, first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get laughed at by most of the sellers that you make these offers to. So what you're going to do is you're going to explain to the seller that this is a business, that you do this by the numbers, and you're going to honestly, refreshingly honestly, by the way, tell them up front, I'm probably not your best buyer. I'm probably not your best buyer. In fact, write that down. I'm probably not your best buyer. All right? Okay? So that's the first thing, is you're not going to buy many houses. But that's okay. If you buy one house every 3 years, folks, and you make $24,000, and that's $8,000, what is it, a year? What's that, like $750 a month or something like that? That's good. I've got kids going into college next year. Every little bit helps. That's our college plan. So, all right. How to estimate, yes?
How do you include taxes for like capital gains and stuff like that?
I don't address taxes in this, Matt, because that's, like any business, you pay your taxes on that.
Okay.